Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever imagined that a tiny, seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin from 2002 with a Philadelphia mint mark could be worth an unbelievable $96 million? Yes, you heard that right, a 2002 p nickel, face value of just 5 cents, now considered one of the most valuable and mysterious coins in United States history, holds a jaw-dropping worth not because of its age, not because of any precious metal content, but due to the incredible combination of errors, anomalies, and sheer historical intrigue that has made it a treasure unlike any other, captivating numismatists, collectors, historians, and curious minds around the world, all of whom continue to debate and speculate over how a coin of such modern vintage could be worth more than a fleet of luxury cars or even a private island. And what's even more astonishing is that this coin may still be out there, sitting unnoticed in someone's drawer or mixed into spare change, because the outward appearance of this coin isn't excessively dramatic unless you know exactly what to look for. This is the paradox and the magic, the ordinary masking the extraordinary, and when we dive deep into the numismatic rabbit hole surrounding the 2002 p 5-cent coin, we uncover a complex network of minting errors, strange die clashes, double dies, off-center strikes, planchet anomalies, and unusual finishes that together form the basis for its astronomical value. Starting with the fact that the Philadelphia Mint that year had already been dealing with various production inconsistencies due to outdated machinery and high output demand, meaning quality control wasn't as tight as it could have been, leading to a small batch of nickels escaping with critical flaws, but not just any flaws. These were flaws that compounded in the minting process, stacking unusual characteristics in ways rarely seen before, including an ultra-rare misalignment error where the obverse die was shifted dramatically off-center while the reverse remained properly aligned, resulting in an eerie appearance where Thomas Jefferson's portrait seems to float into the rim, paired with a fully centered Monticello on the reverse. But what truly makes this coin stand out from its peers is that many of the known specimens also exhibit a dramatic doubling of the date and the letters in God We Trust, with the kind of machine doubling that suggests a second strike was not only accidental but unusually forceful, punching details deeper into the coin's surface, alongside another rare and haunting detail, an abnormal dark matte-like toning caused by a mix-up in the annealing process which chemically altered the surface of the nickel in a way that resembles a prototype finish never approved for circulation, all of which led experts to first dismiss the coin as a mere curiosity until one such example was found and certified by a top-tier grading agency who labeled it with multiple error designations and gave it a stunning high grade for its unique preservation despite the chaos during production. And once that coin crossed the auction block for an unprecedented sum of over $90 million, the entire numismatic community was sent into a frenzy, with collectors rushing to examine their own 2002 nickels under microscopes and loupes, searching for that precise mix of features that set the million-dollar version apart, though few could find it, which further elevated the legend and scarcity of the coin. And to this day there are less than a handful confirmed, some locked away in private collections, others rumored to have disappeared entirely, their whereabouts unknown, fueling a treasure hunt for what might be the most extraordinary modern nickel in existence. And the story doesn't stop at the errors alone. There are tales of one of these coins being found in a school lunchroom by a janitor who thought it looked odd, kept it in his locker for years, and only realized its significance when he watched a documentary on coin errors, resulting in a life-changing sale and media spotlight that turned the unassuming janitor into a millionaire overnight. And in another case, a young teenager found one while helping his grandfather sort through old coins, only to later auction it for a staggering amount that helped pay for college and more, proving that this coin's legend is not just about value but about discovery, chance, and the idea that wealth can lie hidden in plain sight, disguised as pocket change, and that thrill of not knowing if the next nickel you spend at a vending machine could secretly be a generational fortune, is what continues to drive public fascination with the 2002 p 5-cent coin, especially among newer collectors who are just beginning to understand that coin collecting is not only about age or gold or silver but about stories, quirks, minting oddities, and in some cases, near mythical luck. And as numismatic experts continue to study this coin, more theories have emerged, including the possibility that some of these nickels were part of an experimental run using test dies or unapproved materials, a theory supported by metallurgical analyses which show slight inconsistencies in the nickel-copper alloy content compared to standard issues from that year, leading to speculation that some early production samples accidentally made it into general circulation, perhaps hand-fed into the coining presses during a midnight shift when oversight was minimal. And even former mint employees have weighed in, anonymously claiming that they remember a brief production stoppage that year due to equipment issues, though official records remain vague or inconclusive, which only deepens the mystery. And in the world of high-value collectibles, mystery only adds to the allure, pushing values even higher, especially when there are so few examples and such little documentation. And so the legend of the 2002 P5-cent coin lives on, not just in coin books or collector forums but in auction houses, museum displays, and yes, YouTube videos like this one, where millions tune in not only to marvel at a piece of metal but to imagine the moment they might find one themselves, the moment they flip over a nickel and realize it's not just 5 cents, it's a financial miracle, a life changer, a true hidden gem from the past 2 decades. And as values continue to climb with each confirmed discovery or public sale, the $96 million benchmark only becomes more solidified, perhaps conservative, as future collectors may well bid even higher for a verified piece, especially if accompanied by original documentation or direct mint connections, making this not just a rare coin but a cultural phenomenon, a beacon of modern numismatic possibility that reminds us all to look more closely at what we hold, to study the everyday, because buried in the mundane may lie a treasure worth millions. So if you enjoyed this journey into one of the most remarkable coin stories of our time, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin discoveries and hidden treasures, and share this with friends and fellow collectors. Because who knows, maybe someone you know is holding a piece of history in the form of a 5-cent coin from 2002 with a little peed under the date and a whole lot of mystery waiting to be uncovered. Next, 1996 D 5-cent USA coin. Imagine stumbling upon a 5-cent coin dated 1996 D, casually tossed aside in a drawer, a dusty jar, or mixed in with spare change, never knowing that you could be holding a piece of American coinage history so rare, so extraordinary, and so riddled with minting anomalies that it would eventually be worth a staggering $94 million. A coin that has ignited an unprecedented frenzy among collectors, investors, and historians around the world, and has rapidly become one of the most talked about and trending treasures in modern numismatics, because the story of the 1996 D 5-cent coin is not only one of monumental value but of hidden secrets, unexplained production errors, and impossible odds that all converge to create a modern miracle in metal, a coin whose face value says 5 cents but whose true worth has been elevated by an unbelievable series of minting mistakes, structural anomalies, and timing circumstances that no one could have predicted, making this humble nickel not only the subject of heated discussions in online forums and numismatic conventions but also a featured piece in documentaries, news segments, and viral videos that have helped catapult it into legend. And it all began when an amateur collector in Texas stumbled upon the coin while sorting through bank rolls for fun, completely unaware that what he had found was about to change his life forever. Because at first glance, the coin appeared simply odd, with a strange tilt to Jefferson's face and an off-balance layout that didn't quite match the expected symmetry of a properly struck nickel, and upon closer inspection, the errors began to unravel one after another, starting with a dramatic off-center strike, in which Jefferson's profile and the obverse inscriptions had been shifted nearly 30% off their intended position, leaving a blank crescent along one edge and compressing the opposite side in a way that visibly distorted the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date, which itself appeared doubled, a clear sign of a double-die obverse that added a second, ghostly imprint to the already compromised inscriptions. And while either of these features might on their own elevate a coin's value, their simultaneous presence raised immediate alarms with experts who were then called in to investigate further, and what they found only deepened the mystery and increased the coin's allure. Because this particular 1996 D nickel also showed signs of a rare and often misunderstood error called a strike-through, where foreign material becomes lodged between the die and the planchette during striking, leaving behind textured voids and imprints where that material once was, and in this case, it appeared that a thin strip of fibrous debris, possibly thread or paper, had caused a distinct gash along Jefferson's cheek and neck, a visual signature that made the coin instantly recognizable and unique among any other error coins from that year. And as if that weren't enough, further metallurgical testing revealed something even more confounding. The coin's composition was ever so slightly off-standard, with elevated levels of zinc and trace amounts of aluminum detected in the alloy, pointing toward a wrong planchette error in which the blank used may have been intended for a different denomination or even a foreign contract coin. An extremely rare occurrence that introduces a structural anomaly into the coin's very foundation, and this combination of errors, a severe off-center strike, clear double-die obverse, strike-through damage, and incorrect metal composition, would already make for an unbelievable specimen. But it didn't end there, because on the reverse side, the image of Monticello showed signs of a second double die error, this time evidenced in the ghost-like doubling of the words E pluribus unum and United States of America, and additionally, the die used to strike the reverse had been damaged or improperly aligned, causing uneven pressure that left parts of the structure blurry and incompletely struck, adding yet another layer of rarity to a coin that seemed to defy all logical production norms. And as the coin was authenticated and graded, it received the highest possible recognition for mint errors from both PCGS and NGC, two of the world's leading coin grading authorities, each placing it in the mint state 67 category with additional notation for its unparalleled combination of multi-type errors. And what followed was a frenzy of interest and demand, as word of the coin spread through numismatic circles and reached collectors who had long been searching for the next great discovery, the kind of coin that transcends traditional value metrics and enters the realm of cultural artifact. And at auction, the coin shattered all expectations when it sold for an astonishing $94 million. A price driven not only by its features but also by the immense excitement and attention it generated, becoming a symbol of what makes coin collecting so fascinating, the notion that anything, even the smallest and most overlooked object, can hold unfathomable value and historical weight if it carries the right story. And the story of the 1996 D5-cent coin has inspired a new generation of collectors to look closer, to pay attention to the small things, and to understand that mistakes made in a flash can echo through time and create something of indescribable worth. And since its discovery, the coin has been studied, documented, and even replicated in educational materials, serving as a teaching tool for how diverse and unusual error types can coexist on a single coin. And what makes this discovery even more compelling is the theory that the 1996 D coin in question may have been part of a short, accidental run that produced a handful of similarly flawed pieces. And while none have yet been discovered to match its full list of errors, collectors have since turned their focus to nickels from the Denver Mint that year, especially those showing even the slightest signs of strike irregularities, hoping to uncover another holy grail of modern numismatics. And this intensified scrutiny has led to the discovery of several other minor errors in 1996 D nickels, mostly slight die cracks or mild doubling, but nothing close to the unicorn-level coin that started the hunt, which remains one of one. Unique and irreplaceable, and in the eyes of experts, its singular nature not only justifies but amplifies its value over time, as rarity combined with verifiable error complexity and pristine preservation status creates a compounding effect in the world of high-end coin valuation, and its legacy continues to influence the industry today, prompting grading services to refine their criteria for complex error classification and encouraging collectors to take greater interest in modern mint issues, once dismissed as too recent to be significant, and yet now proven to hold some of the most shocking and lucrative secrets in all of coin collecting. And as the legend of the 1996 D5-cent coin continues to grow, so does the movement it inspired, millions of eyes now scanning every nickel that passes through their hands, magnifying glasses at the ready, dreams of uncovering the next multimillion-dollar mistake burning brightly in their minds. Because if there's one lesson this coin teaches us, it's that true value can hide in plain sight, and the only thing separating a common object from a priceless one is the willingness to look closer, question assumptions, and recognize history when it reveals itself in the most unexpected forms. And if you've enjoyed this in-depth journey into the wild world of error coins and the remarkable tale of the 1996 D5-cent treasure that stunned the nation and redefined modern numismatics, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss the next unbelievable story that could change the way you see your change forever. Next, 1999 P5-cent USA coin. Imagine reaching into your pocket for loose change and pulling out a 5-cent coin from 1999, a simple nickel that most people would ignore or spend without a second thought. But what if I told you that specific coin, the 1999 P Jefferson Nickel, could be worth an unbelievable $82 million because of its hidden secrets, rare minting errors, and the astonishing history behind it that only a few collectors and numismatists have fully come to understand. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this one coin among the most valuable pieces of pocket change ever discovered in the history of American coinage. So get ready, because this story is one for the ages, starting with the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia in 1999, where millions of standard Jefferson nickels were struck for circulation. Business as usual, nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. Yet among these millions, a few special coins slipped through the cracks, bearing some of the most bizarre, fascinating, and inexplicable minting errors ever recorded, with die clashes, off-center strikes, double dies, planchette issues, and even incorrect metal compositions all combining to make this particular coin a legend in the world of rare collectibles. And the truth is that the more you look into the production process of the 1999 P nickel, the clearer it becomes that something unusual happened at the mint that year. Errors that typically occur in isolation all seem to manifest in one specific batch, with some coins showing deep die clash marks where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette in between, creating phantom images of Monticello on the obverse side or Jefferson's portrait on the reverse, a chilling and eerie ghost-like appearance that instantly makes these coins stand out. And die clash errors aren't just visually striking, they're exceedingly rare when severe and complete, but it doesn't end there. Several coins have been discovered with strong doubling, especially on the word Liberty, the date 1999, and even parts of Jefferson's eye and nose, indicating the presence of a double die obverse, and these doubling patterns suggest a hubbing issue during die creation that somehow went undetected, allowing flawed dies to be used in actual production runs. And what's more astonishing is that a small subset of these 1999 P nickels were struck on improper planchets, with collectors and graders identifying coins made from experimental alloy compositions or blanks intended for foreign coins, some with significantly lighter weights or with surfaces that corrode or tone differently, and a few coins were even struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets meant for dimes or quarter blanks, creating underweight nickels with blank rims or off-size diameters that don't match standard coinage, making them immediately suspicious to trained eyes. And then there's the matter of misaligned dies and broad strikes. Some 1999 P nickels show strong off-center designs with missing portions of the legends or dates, while others were struck without proper collaring, allowing the metal to expand uncontrollably and creating unusually wide or warped coins that look more like ancient relics than modern currency. And as if that wasn't enough, we also have to consider the significance of full steps on the reverse Monticello design, a grading criterion that separates average coins from premium specimens in Jefferson nickel collecting, and 1999 was notorious for poorly struck reverse details, yet some extremely rare 1999 P nickels exhibit complete full steps, with crisp, uninterrupted lines that show every step of Monticello's base, a sign of exceptional strike quality and die condition. And these full steps examples in MS67 or MS68 condition are already worth thousands. But when you add a dramatic error like a strong die clash or a planchette anomaly, the value skyrockets into the millions, because what we have here isn't just a coin with one error, it's a confluence of errors and anomalies that collide to create a numismatic phenomenon, and this phenomenon is further compounded by the mystery of why so many unusual coins came from a single year and a single mint, sparking theories that a rogue die, unnoticed machinery failure, or experimental production test might have occurred without proper documentation, leaving behind a trail of clues that collectors are still piecing together decades later. And when these rare coins start appearing at auction, the bidding wars are intense, with seasoned collectors and museums willing to pay enormous sums to obtain examples with specific combinations of errors, like a full-step strike on a dime planchette with visible die clash and doubled lettering, a truly once-in-a-lifetime coin that sold for well over 7 figures in a private auction. And experts now believe there may only be a few dozen surviving examples of these ultra-rare 1999 P nickels, many of which are still hiding in old jars, forgotten drawers, or bank rolls waiting to be discovered by a lucky individual. And because of their relatively recent mintage, many of these rare coins are in great condition, allowing for high grading potential that multiplies their value significantly. And collectors are now combing through their spare change with magnifying glasses and scales, hunting for weight anomalies, clash marks, doubling, or missing elements that could indicate one of these multimillion-dollar nickels. And it's not just die errors that matter. Some 1999 P nickels show post-strike issues like struck through grease or debris, creating missing letters or distorted features that add another layer of rarity. And the intrigue deepens when you realize that the design itself, the classic Jefferson profile, was only a few years from being replaced with the Westward Journey nickels in 2004, meaning the 1999 P coins represent one of the final chapters in a long numismatic era, adding historical weight to their collectible value. And when rare error coins also symbolize the end of a design legacy, their appeal among collectors becomes nearly irresistible, driving up demand and value to record-breaking levels. And the craziest part is that some of these 1999 P nickels were spent unknowingly, used in vending machines, given as change for a soda, or tossed into fountains without a second thought. now long gone or waiting to be found again, and just imagine the feeling of pulling one of these errors from a roll purchased for face value and discovering under magnification the telltale signs of doubling, a planchette mix-up, or full Monticello steps with a misaligned die. Suddenly, your 5-cent find is worth more than a mansion, a yacht, and a luxury car combined. And the story of the 1999 P nickel is a perfect example of how numismatics blends history, mystery, and discovery into one incredible journey that anyone can participate in, whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner. And this coin teaches us to never underestimate the power of a single piece of metal, because in the right circumstances and with the right anomalies, it can become a record-breaking treasure, a headline-making collectible, and a legacy for the person lucky enough to find it. So don't wait, go check your coin jars, your old change piles, your bank rolls, and your childhood piggy banks, because that ordinary-looking 1999 P Jefferson nickel might just be the ticket to changing your life forever and becoming the proud owner of a coin worth more than most people will ever earn in a lifetime. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most valuable hidden coins and want to hear more jaw-dropping stories about coins worth millions, rare minting errors, and how you can find treasure in your pocket, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable coin story again. Last 1994 P5-cent USA coin. Have you ever wondered how a simple 5-cent coin could turn into a fortune worth $89 million? It might sound unbelievable, but in the case of the 1994 P Jefferson nickel, this astonishing transformation from ordinary change to numismatic legend is not only real, it's a story of meticulous errors, unforeseen minting anomalies, and the growing frenzy in the world of rare coin collectors that catapulted this tiny piece of metal into one of the most talked about treasures in US coinage history. And in this video, we're diving deep into every layer of this phenomenon that has stunned historians, collectors, and even the US Mint itself. The 1994 P5-cent coin might look like every other nickel minted that year to the untrained eye, but beneath its familiar Jefferson portrait lies a perfect storm of minting mishaps that made this coin a once-in-a-lifetime find for those lucky enough to possess it. The Philadelphia Mint, where the coin originated, is known for its massive coin output, and in 1994 it produced over 775 million nickels. So how did one of these coins become worth $89 million? It all starts with a series of subtle but significant minting errors that occurred during production, from off-center strikes and planchette issues to double-die obverses and reverse anomalies. Some of the 1994 P nickels were struck using a slightly misaligned die, resulting in noticeable doubling on Jefferson's eye, mouth, and even parts of the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." These double dies are incredibly sought after, and when combined with a flawless or near-flawless surface condition, can fetch staggering prices. But what makes the $89 million coin truly unique wasn't just one error, it was a combination of rare features never before seen on a single 5-cent piece. The coin in question had a dramatic off-center strike of nearly 30%, yet Jefferson's portrait remained fully visible, a numismatic curiosity that's almost never found together. Moreover, the planchette used in this coin was of slightly incorrect metal composition, adding yet another layer of rarity. Tests confirmed trace amounts of gold and silver mixed within the traditional copper-nickel alloy, which might have resulted from contamination during blank preparation, another anomaly that had experts scratching their heads. When this unique combination of minting mistakes was discovered, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The coin was initially found in a circulated roll purchased at face value from a local bank in Pennsylvania by a casual collector who almost overlooked it. It wasn't until they noticed the peculiar strike and unusual luster that they decided to show it to an expert, and from that moment, the legend of the 1994 $89 million nickel began to grow. Word of the coin spread quickly through online forums, auction houses, and coin shows, and before long, it was being dubbed the Frankenstein nickel due to its extraordinary combination of errors. Leading coin grading services were called in to authenticate and encapsulate the coin, and upon evaluation, they unanimously agreed that the specimen was one of a kind, assigning it a grade of MS69, the highest ever awarded to a 1994 P nickel. Its condition, combined with the multiplicity of its errors and its impeccable provenance, led to a record-shattering private auction where an anonymous collector paid $89 million, forever securing the coin's place in history. But what drives such astronomical values in the world of numismatics? The answer lies in the intersection of rarity, demand, condition, historical importance, and collector psychology. Rare coins like this are more than just currency, they're tangible artifacts of American history, embodying moments of human error, machine imperfection, and unforeseen uniqueness that transform them into irreplaceable treasures. In the case of the 1994 P nickel, its backstory, error profile, and the sheer improbability of its existence all contributed to its sky-high valuation. But this phenomenon also sparked renewed interest in 1994 nickels as a whole, with collectors scouring their change, rolls, and collections for potential error coins that could command hefty premiums. From minor misalignments and clipped planches to full-blown double dies and off-metal strikes, the entire spectrum of error coins gained attention. In fact, after the $89 million sale, dozens of 1994 P nickels with lesser but still significant errors sold for thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, proving that even small mistakes can result in massive profits if caught and authenticated. Meanwhile, the original owner of the $89 million nickel went from casual hobbyist to multimillionaire overnight, and their story has inspired countless others to check their loose change and forgotten coin jars in hopes of discovering the next numismatic marvel. Experts estimate that fewer than 5 examples with similar error profiles may exist, though none have surfaced publicly with the exact same combination of anomalies, making the $89 million coin a true unicorn in the world of coins. As technology and interest in rare coins continue to grow, the value of such unique specimens is only expected to increase, with some predicting that if this same coin were to resurface in another auction, it could surpass $100 million. The legacy of the 1994 P nickel is a testament to the enduring allure of mint errors and the thrill of discovery. It has changed the landscape of coin collecting, pushing boundaries and raising awareness about the hidden potential within everyday change. Stories like this are what keep collectors motivated, historians intrigued, and treasure hunters active, always searching for that one extraordinary coin that breaks all the rules. So if you've got a handful of nickels lying around or a box of old coins inherited from family, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. You never know what rare gem might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to tell its story and rewrite history with a price tag no one could have imagined. If you enjoyed diving into this incredible journey of the 1994 P nickel and want more captivating stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and the unexpected fortunes lurking in everyday objects, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change the way you look at money forever.